All right, guys, have a little chuckle. Take five in me trying to make my Town Square video recap. Yes, I'm fighting a cold. I have a bit of a cough. I'm trying to mute my mic when I cough, and that way you don't have to hear it, even if you do see me do it. And then I forgot to unmute the mic for like a good 5 minutes of talking last time. So let's try this again. I'm getting lots of practice at what I want to go over, though. So the town score was on Monday. If this is a little bit late on Friday, it's just because I've been sick and I've been doing other things. I'll try to make the town hall one that we should have next Monday a little bit more relevant time frame. Try to get it out a little bit quicker. But let's go ahead and get into this. So the town square was just Matt. Rondon was there in the background talking to him, and we did have only two guests go on mic. We could do a little bit better with that, but it's hard. I know a lot of us, they do these when we're at work. We can't just hop into a Discord and get on a mic. So it's a bit of an interesting ask the way that they format these. I really feel like the town square should be done on a weekend if they really wanted good participation from people. I don't know. Maybe they think most of us don't have jobs, but we'll just go ahead and skip that part. Um, Overall, it was a really good town square, though, because Matt did a very brief introduction. I'll go over that first. Then he answered questions for a long time. I'm going to give you a recap of all the questions and answers that Matt gave that I thought were kind of interesting, or at least the info we got from his answers. And then I'm going to go ahead and look over their kind of key things for anything I might have not thought was all that important, but they wanted to highlight. So, in the beginning, he basically talked about how the company is still recovering from the reorganization. They haven't fully recovered from that, so they are currently, um, not as far along in land as he had hoped. So now we're looking at land coming out around the end of October. Further on in the discussions of everything that's going on with the company, he did say it is possible for land to be pushed back even further if they need more time to get things ready for the rebellion pre-sale, as that is also becoming kind of a key priority within the company. That is such a key priority now that it's going to be coming out in the next 2 weeks, the pre-sale for Rebellion. Now, why is that so important for the company? Well, because one of the other things Matt talked about is the runway, and this is going a little off topic on the Rebellion pre-sale, but we'll come back to it, but that they have about 6 months worth of cash when the runway question came up. But the reason why the Rebellion pre-sale is such a big play for them is because they're hoping to use the momentum of that pre-sale selling out to help them get investment capital. This does put a little bit of pressure on the community to go ahead and support a pre-sale when a lot of us had said we weren't sure if we were ever going to buy packs again because of how bad Chaos Legion packs burnt us. So it's a very interesting thing for them to do and a very interesting play to make. I want to support the Rebellion pre-sale. I don't know what the deal will be yet, but I'm certainly not going to support it the way I did the Chaos Legion pre-sale. I just don't have the money anymore, and I don't ever want to spend $20,000 on packs and literally have been able to buy those same amount of packs for like $1,000. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. So, um, needless to say, this time we're not in a bull market. Vouchers aren't worth as much. SPS isn't worth as much. It can't literally be anything like the last pre-sale, but still, it's going to be on us to, if we want this company to succeed, to give them a nice thing to pitch to VC investors. That's just kind of a statement that he made without actually saying those things. But that to me is why this pre-sale is so important. So what do we know about Rebellion? We know that from Matt, there's going to be some kind of new gameplay. We also know it's going to be the first time that there's going to be a revenue split between the DAO and the company for the pack sales. Assuming the proposal passes, it's doing very well in pre-proposal. I'm expecting it'll pass, but we'll double check on that later next week when it becomes a real proposal. All right. And then the other thing we know is it's going to be a very big pack. We're expecting 15 million like Rift Watchers, but they've changed the formatting for the sale. So now instead of it being 15 million packs for sale with airdrops that are unlocked based on how many are sold the way we have done in the past, there's going to go this many are for sale, and they're going to be for sale for up to 1 year with a burning mechanism to burn all the unpacked sold starting right away. So the very first day these cards go on sale, unless we were to somehow magically buy 15 million packs, some of them will be burned away. Now, that the supply is going to be big enough for them to be doing burns for close to the entire year while selling them for the entire year. So that's kind of the way things are built out. Now, obviously, because they are still putting a limit on the packs, if we hit a bull market and things got kind of popular, you could see this sell out a little bit faster. There were questions about the power creep. It doesn't seem like Matt is of the impression that the power creep of this set is going to be to the point where you don't need Rift Watchers and Chaos Legion to compete. So it's good to know he at least assumes that any new players that come in because of the new sets of cards will have to buy some of the old cards if they want to compete. The other thing that's kind of interesting to this is Rebellion is supposed to have a new game mechanic. We don't know what it is yet. We should find out when hopefully in the next week or two, whether it's just a new damage type or if it's something as revolutionary as spells being introduced into the game. Aggie had hinted before he changed that was coming soon. Matt has stated that he has seen a demo of spells being used in the game. Could we get those first default spells they said every person would get before we start crafting spells when Rebellion comes out? It's not the craziest idea in the world to me if the pre-sale's in October, but real Rebellion isn't coming out till January of next year. That would still give them the end of October to get land out, and then all of November and December to try to get us closer to land 2.5 or 2.0, and then hopefully a little bit after Rebellion comes out with the basic spells, maybe first quarter, early second quarter, we get to land 3.0. This is like if everything was running perfectly and then we start crafting spells. I don't know if that's a reality at all, but that would be kind of interesting in my mind. But he has hinted that they plan on introducing some kind of new gameplay mechanic that he's relatively excited about in Rebellion, which should allow us to kind of market this game to people as it being a little bit different than it is today. We got an idea on pack sale prices. They'll be similar to Chaos Legion, but instead of needing a voucher to get a pack, vouchers are going to be used as a discount of up to $1. He hasn't said how many vouchers are going to be used to get you a $1 discount, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's going to be 5 or 10, whether or not a voucher is valued at 20 cents like it is when you go to unlock your cards for land. When that eventually happens, we don't know when those soulbound unlocks are going to happen at this point at all. Or they might value them a little bit lower, say 10 cents. I think it's going to be one of those because you want some number that you can equally divide into $1 to get a $1 discount. 10 would be probably more than most people want to see, but that's kind of the number I'm guessing. We'll find out a little bit more about this later that week, though. Now, some of the interesting questions that he was asked during the town hall, the town square, that got me kind of to take a note was that Matt is open to doing promo cards, but instead of doing them the way in the past, he wants to find other communities to work with and then offer them a free copy of that promo card if they come join our game. So you think of another game that's out there, or any of the games that people are playing, like even Parallel. Do some kind of parallel card within Splinterlands, and anybody that plays Parallel can come over to the town to Splinterlands, buy a spell book, and get a free copy of that card. And then they can hopefully stay and start to play our game as well. Maybe they're too much of a competitor to do that kind of a collaboration with, but it still would be kind of interesting. Sorry, guys. Hope that cough goes away. But I was saying it would be interesting. One of the other ones would be that while the DAO is going to be hiring Splinterlands, somebody asked if Splinterlands would take DEC as a payment for us hiring them. They said no. And this is one of the reasons why I and others are voting down the proposal to have the DAO buy DEC with stables. I understand the idea that the DAO needs to support our tokens, but the DAO should not be holding DEC, in my opinion. I don't even like the fact that we're getting DEC from the Riftwatcher sale. The reason why is because the DAO doesn't need DEC for anything, except for to pump DEC by holding it and not selling it. It can't use it, it can't spend it, it can't dump it, any of those type of things without hurting our ecosystem. this is why I really hope after we shoot this down again that the discussion on this just comes to an end. It is not an asset that should be held inside the DAO. Matt said they wouldn't really want to take it. The only time he said he'd want to take it is if we were in some kind of crazy bull market where DEC was holding peg amazingly and they could take it and be able to sell it out onto the community. But still, see, even then, technically that hurts us in the community. So really stop wanting to put DEC in the DAO. DEC doesn't need to be locked up in the DAO. It needs to be locked up in land. Land just isn't here yet. Just the numbers are correct. There's not enough DEC left out there printed to even stake all the DEC we need to stake into land. So just let land come out. Let that part of the game take over. And stop worrying about getting the DAO to buy tons of DEC. We got a little from the Rift Watcher packs. We can maybe do giveaways with that or promotions with that, or maybe offer it to, I don't know, do some kind of creative things with that. But whenever it leaves that DAO and comes back into the ecosystem, it becomes sell pressure. And so I really, really hope that we eventually move away from the DAO ever getting DEC. I know that if we hire them to make mini sets, that's kind of the asset that we get. Maybe if somebody creates somewhere where you could stake DEC and take out a loan against it, that would be kind of interesting for somebody to develop. But other than that, I just hope we don't try to do that anymore. Matt likes the idea of burning cards. Now, the current proposal isn't passing for burning cards for a chance to get a Rift Watcher pack. Let's just face it, people didn't want to play that lotto game. But if Splinterlands announces a great card burning event similar to the great DEC burning event, if the team is willing to put up a Rooney and 10 land plots and X amount of Rift Watcher packs that the company purchased and X amount of Rebellion packs, because Rebellion is out at that point, and say, guys, if you'd like lotto tickets, go ahead and burn cards. It's funny as this thinks, I could see that these burning events for prizes become a little more of a regular thing within our environment. We want DEC to leave the environment. We have too many cards in the environment for the current number of players. It's not a big deal if we burn away some of this stuff and raise the value of things a little bit for the people that want to gamble. So I'm willing to let people do that. I don't know if I'll partake again because I got burned pretty bad in the DEC burning event, but I chose to take that risk, and I'd have to decide whether or not I wanted to take the next one, assuming Matt does do this again. Somebody asked, why aren't skins in the game? Come on, Matt, it's an easy revenue source. People have been saying this over and over again. Easy revenue source, guys, add skins. He explained the reason they don't want to do it is because the skin system that they currently have for selling skins is a very old one that he developed. It hasn't been text modernized. The items can't be included in the non-card market. So they want skins to be tradable and more real and more on the new tech before they think about doing them. It's on the roadmap to do. He does realize it's a way for them to make some money and have another item to trade within the marketplaces, but it doesn't seem to be something that is a high priority for them. Matt also mentioned near the end of the town hall that in Land 2.0, once we have those 50 resources come out, he's going to put out a government's proposal to remove SPS rewards from land. At that point, on your occupied lands, you're supposed to be getting monster essences or monster orbs or something like that. On all of your magic lands, you're literally supposed to be harvesting those magical essences. On the other lands, you're supposed to be getting all kinds of other things and doing all kinds of other reviving. And to really have that be a thriving environment, you don't want a lot of people using their land towards mining SPS, in his opinion. So he feels like he wants to take it out of a mineable thing. And that would really be fine with me, but we'll see what the community thinks when he decides to put that proposal through. And then the last thing I'll kind of talk about here, there was a talk. We had two people come on and speak on the mic, like I said in the beginning. Rogue Poughton came in with a very interesting question, so shout out to my buddy Rogue. But he was pointing out that the Chaos Legion set is huge because it had a set of rewards cards that were non-soulbound, and then it had a set of rewards cards that are soulbound. Plus, it is a very big set. And so if Rebellion gets a new set of soulbound rewards cards, Modern is going to be very, very messy with quite a lot of cards in it with these two sets and two sets of soulbound rewards cards. Matt had said that at least to this, there is no current plan to put out new Soulbound rewards cards anytime soon. This means for at least the first half of Rebellion being on sale, we're probably going to be looking at having the same rewards cards into the first half of next year. This does mean people like me who already have a full set, we might start to feel a little bored earning these cards that aren't helping our decks anymore. But hopefully unlocking for land will be coming, and then hopefully unlocking for them being tradable will be coming. If they're not pushing these through, I could see talking to people about putting a player proposal to kind of make them unlock them, because some of us pretty soon, I'm already at the point where I am pulling cards every single day that I just don't need. And it's kind of annoying not to be able to go out to the market and buy the few that I do need and not be able to do anything with all the extras that I'm earning that some people might be willing to buy. So I understand the delay, and I understand you can have quite a lot of different rules for unlocking these, but I hope it happens soon. And then the other question was kind of, the guy had some mic issues and stuff, but it had to do with, some business plans and ideas, but Matt didn't really like it, so I'm not going to get too much into it. It was hard to understand what he was asking anyways. Now, the only other question, statement that was kind of interesting that Matt made, and I'm going to end it here, was that he is thinking about doing a proposal to the Hive ecosystem, because the Hive ecosystem does have a way for projects to be funded. It'll be interesting to see if the Hive ecosystem and the whales within Hive appreciate Splinterlands enough, or think if they're too big of a project. Because I think ideally that thing was kind of put there to support new developments onto Hive, where in this case we'd be asking them to basically help us keep the biggest thing that you have going on Hive going. So that's an interesting thing. So that really is everything that I covered on the town hall. We'll quickly look at their notes. Just give me a second here. All right. So on theirs, I think the only thing I didn't go through when I looked through this, there's a note that they are going to be working on tournaments, but they didn't have any other information than they're working on them. So that's why I didn't include it on my notes. Soulkeep's been delayed, but we kind of knew that was put up on the shelf for a little while. Land and Rebellion are first, and the only thing that's not clear here if this is Rebellion coming out or just the Rebellion presale. The other thing that was interesting is Immolation got dropped, but I'm going to do a separate video on him because this video is already about the max I want to make it. I mean, a 17-minute video going over a 1-hour town square is just about as much as I think you guys are going to be willing to put up with. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye.